Góðan daginn, welcome to the Project Pal. My name is Gudhildur, I'm in Iceland, I live in Iceland, and this is my podcast vlog chat type of thing where I talk mainly about yarn, knitting, crocheting, anything fiber related because I keep learning about it and I want to tell someone about it. I call this thing the Project Pal because I have projects, they are in piles, and I keep adding to the pile. And I'm not alone in that. And yeah, I also talk quite a bit about the weather because it's a universal thing. If you have nothing to talk about, you can talk about the weather. And in the past quite a while, I also talk about the geological activities of my homeland because good lord, is it active. But yeah, so quite a few things have happened this past week. The least amount has actually been the knitting. Yeah, so I'm not even really sure where to begin. Small things. Okay, personally, my area, the bigger part of the eastern part of Iceland lost electricity during the Monday, the night leading up to Monday. So which was okay, considering. For me personally, the problem came when the electricity came back on, the power returned, because my PC turned on and it went on the fish. And that was a saga in and of itself. You know, with the computers, there's this thing called hardware, which is the machinery itself, and then software, that is like the programs and things that like tell the machine what to do. And I mean, long story short, it kept freezing whenever I tried to turn it on and doing very weird things. At one point I got a blue screen and a lot of terrifying noises. So thankfully I found someone in my town who actually does like computer things, and they were kind enough to take it in. That thing fixed itself after it went for a walk. The only thing that I had to do was literally change the pin number, the password thing, because Windows 10 does not allow you to just turn your computer on and just get on with your day. No, you have to put in password every single time. The only thing that I had to do was change the password. That thing fixed itself. I'm not displeased about it, but still at the same time it's like, computers are alive, and that is my belief and I will stick to it. Honestly, the elephant in the room. Yes, so there's been a lot of activity in the southwestern part of Iceland, particularly the Reykjanes peninsula. Everyone is fine. That's the main thing. There are no people in the area. All the locals of the town of Grindavík were evacuated. Honestly, I did not sleep the night leading to Saturday, knowing that things were happening, and it was just like nerve-wracking. And whenever I woke up in the night, I would reach for my phone and just look up news. It's like, are there any news? So yeah, so I think like 11:30 Friday night. There were quite a few people in Grindavík who had already left, because the amount of shaking that has been going on in the past days and weeks, we're just reaching the type of kind of like a point where people who have been living there and have had to deal with this thing for 3 years. This is the third eruption on the peninsula this era. It got too much for them, and knowing what we do know now, no surprise. So quite a few people had already decided to take an earthquake vacation, It was good because, like I said, around 11:30, I want to say, there was a state of emergency. It was not an emergency evacuation, but it was a compulsory evacuation. So the difference is that when it's an emergency evacuation, like we had in my town, when the ambulances fell, that was an emergency evacuation, meaning that you have within 45 minutes to get out. But with that, the evacuation in Grindavík, they had like 2 or 3 hours. No stress, no panic, and yeah, they just did. This is one and the same. Is remarkable, it's admirable, but at the same time really terrifying. But like I said, everyone is safe, everyone is sheltered. There are 3 emergency shelters that have been set up for them. And yeah, everyone is pretty much just pulling together. There have been offers of quite a few housing, because we don't know how long they have to be away from their homes. And there's been a lot of talk of how to ensure that the children continue their education. There have been a lot of companies offering free services, like everyone from Grindavík, a lot of like gyms offering them free passes so that they can get them moving, and you know, just a lot of the little things that you don't really think about, but that really matter when you're in this strange state of being. So yeah, I am very happy about that. The thing that a lot of people, especially the rescue units, it actually got so bad. You know, the situation was deemed so too risky and too dangerous that even the emergency personnel, they were told to evacuate as well. And then like leading to Saturday, because it was just like too much, not taking the risk. And there is the Coast Guard, the Coast Guard ship Thor, that has been in the area. They even moved Thor because, well, I'm gonna show the first picture. I get a plus now because I actually prepared. My channel has become something about volcanoes, but this is the first map of what the magma channel was estimated at, because this thing, the magma channel, it keeps moving. That's the main reason for all the activity, and why. I'm gonna hold here. Hi, I'm over here. So, and this is why the people of Grindavík were feeling so many earthquakes, is because it's literally underneath the town. Like, no wonder they were shaking, the poor dears. But the other thing is that, because this is a town of about 4,000 people, there are animals still in the area, and I know that the emergency personnel are itching. The first chance that they are going to get, they are going to go and do their best to rescue as many animals as they can. We're just going to have to see, because the situation is just deemed too... I mean, it's just too risky. So they are doing their best. I know that. We all know that. But it's just knowing that the animals are there. There are horses, there are sheep, there are cats, there are dogs, there are chicken, there are parakeets. I think there's a better one. But here's another map of the area. The thin red line is where they estimate where the channel actually is. It's a lot bigger, and it also extends into the ocean, meaning that there's currently a greater chance of there being an ocean eruption, which is why they moved Thor. But yeah, so yeah, that's done. Just this thing underneath that little town. It's so creepy. But everyone is safe. There's actually another picture that I really want to show you, because they've see. Okay, here's Thor. This is the Coast Guard. That's Thor, named after the Nordic god of thunder. And Thor was also here during the avalanche catastrophe in my town. And just speaking from experience, just having Thor. So Thor is used as basically a glorified giant battery, essentially. But the mental reassurance of having that ship over there, it just is a lot of reassurance when there's a big situation going on, and just having that ship there is just like so here's one of the pictures from one of the roads leading to town and in town. So because of the earthquakes, obviously a lot of roads are very, very broken. That's a big crack. I've seen pictures from like the golf course, and there's actually like a bench, and there's no way that they're going to be able to use the golf course, because they're going to need to rebuild quite a bit. But basically there's a golf course, there's a bench, and it's like this, just like a big dent. When I say big, I'm guessing it's like about the length of my arm. So it's, yeah, quite a bit. And this is what they have had to do to make sure that no one enters the area. Every single road is closed, and what they've done is they put like these sheds, like these storage containers on one part of the road, on one lane, and then a car on the other, just to make sure that people do not enter. And on Saturday there was a report that there were people from Grindavík wanting to go home and check out things, which is understandable. It's just not feasible because it's too risky. There were also a few tourists who did claim that they didn't know about the situation, which I really want to believe them. I do, I really do. But I've been around people so much, and I know that there are people who will try to get into closed areas, specifically areas that are dangerous, because they are simply thrill seekers. So yeah, there are the sheds, the containers, my car, all gates are closed. Here's another picture. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Currently they were allowing, today they actually allowed entrance to one neighborhood, which actually contains one of the older farms, I believe, to check on the sheep. Yeah, here's one of the cracks. A little bit dramatic, all things considered. Yeah. So crack in the road, crack in the garden wall. So here's a map of some of the quakes. Honestly quite terrifying. I really thought that there was another picture. Oh, actually it's here. Don't know why it does that. Okay, so just on my Google, it's a little clearer. So Grindavík is down here by the bottom. This here area, that's where the Blue Lagoon is. So if you've ever been to a Blue Lagoon, this is just literally in the neighborhood of. So quite a dramatic situation. And here's a colored version of the danger zone. So yeah, very dramatic situation. But all things considered, obviously we don't know what is going to happen straight away. We know that there's going to be an eruption fairly soon. And because the earthquakes have been so strong, so there's a lot of tension that has been released, there's a very big chance that the eruption itself is going to be quiet. So people are going to need to keep their eyes peeled and pay close attention. So, like I said, there is one neighborhood where people are being allowed to enter, but same as what was here during the avalanche situation, is one person per household, under a lot of watch. So there's a lot of other people who are with. There's a lot of security, because security is first and foremost, and a very close watch being kept on all the activity, whatever the planet is doing right now, and hopefully everything just goes well. So yeah. So that's the big issue in Iceland right now. We had to evacuate the town. Everyone is safe, and the biggest concern for most people right now is rescue the animals. And because not everyone was able to do that, it was very late at night that people had to leave. So like some of the cats were outside, for example, and couldn't be located in time. And just some people, I don't know, like maybe there's some people that were thinking, well, it's not going to be long, because you never believe that you're going to be away from home very long. So yeah, I should have picked my teacup with me. Anyway, so for me personally, and completely changing the subject again, if you can hear the TV, that's because, well, we're keeping an eye out for any extra news time. So because we're that kind of family, we just, yeah, we deal with these things by keeping as informed as we possibly can. So completely changing the subject. Yesterday, because I am participating in NaNoWriMo, which is the National Novel Writing Month. This is my second time participating in what is the Nordic Word War. And they're so much fun. So this year's hosts were Denmark. They were the victors of last year. So it's the victors who are the hosts. So it takes place on Discord. And it is Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland and Iceland. And because Finland and Iceland are not the biggest, the Finns very kindly adopt the Icelanders, which is a lot of fun because they are so nice. Everyone is nice. And yeah, so yesterday didn't really sleep a lot because of trying to pay attention to what was happening in Grindavík. But yeah, so I kept a very nice pace. I actually managed to beat my writing record from last year. Last year I managed to write just over 7,000 words, which since then and until then was the most amount of words that I managed to write in a single day. This year I managed to write 8,181. 8181. I am so happy with that. Absolutely exhausted. My brain was closing down. I couldn't even really write to anyone in the Discord because trying to think of words, my brain hurt. And yeah, so again, Finland and Iceland were in 5th place, but I'm not mad about it because it was so much fun. The winners this time were Norway. It's basically, for the last 5 years, it's been Norway, Norway, Denmark, Denmark, Norway. So it's like, But the word goal as a whole, we collectively beat it by 200,000 words. So we wrote 200,000 words more this year than we did last year. And it was so much fun. And I did drink a lot of water. I think I drank about 2.5 liters, which is probably why I actually managed to write 8,000 words, because at least I was feeding my brain with water and chocolate. So yeah, I am very pleased about that. I do need to write a little bit more today just to keep on with my nano goal. But yeah. Yay, about 20 minutes of chatting. I'm pleased. So actually, on to the yarn and knitting. The main purpose of these podcast vloggy chatty things. So the only thing I worked on this past week was my shawl. I think I'm about halfway done with the scheme, with the cake. Yay. So all the dark bits are what I did last knitting night. So I need to find a bigger cable, because this one is getting to be a little too short. But the pattern is turning out really nice. I'm trying to figure out where my little mistake was. Oh, here it is. So proof that this is handmade, because I made a little whoopsie here. I can't really... What am I doing? Yeah. It's a little tighter here because I made a little whoopsie. And that's fine, because then if you can see it, then you can see that it's handmade. But yeah, I'm really loving how it's turning out. The fabric is really nice. Like it's tight enough, but not too tight. And it's really, this yarn really holds this type of knitting very, very well. So yeah, very pleased about it. I am thinking, however, that I'm going to relegate this to being by my computer, so that I'm actually looking at my crochet cardigan. I have not worked on that the past week. I was a little busy with other things. Oh, and that's right, I didn't take time off this week as the plan was, because my store manager, poor dear, she has a very bad infection in her lungs. I'm not sure if it's bronchitis or pneumonia. But yeah, she's being a dear and staying at home. She's a very conscientious person, so she has been showing up in the mornings to take care of the paperwork and the orders that need to be made, except on Friday, because she was so sick that she stayed at home. And I'm like, that's good. Just stay home. So I offered to just, you know, postpone my time off until the last whole, yeah, until not this week but the next one. So yeah. And another knitting, yeah, it's just knitting. I bought a book, all of this is by an Icelandic designer called Kristjánsdóttir. Don't think there's gonna be translated to English. I'm not overly positive about that, but you know, is it just the back or is there? Yeah, okay. So just showing you the back. It's so cute. This is an overview of the patterns, and if I remember correctly, this one here is turned to the back, but it's the same one, same pattern as what I'm making out of the drops area. Still haven't done the sleeves, no judging. And another pattern, this one is another one that I bought independently this past, was it in the spring? Might have been in the spring. And both of them are in this book. So there are quite a few other patterns obviously here that I quite like, so I'm like, you know what, she made a book, I'm gonna buy the book. I like her patterns, they are easy enough, simple enough to follow, and even I haven't really made a mistake. The only mistakes, more like discoveries, that I have made are the ones that I don't care about. So, yeah. Got like this cute little pie. That is so cute. There are, there are quite a few just nice, like this one. I really like this one. Yeah, quite a few nice patterns. I'm not sure if I'll probably never make all of them. That's not the point. The point is to get the book. One thing that I do want to make is because I keep wanting to wear like a knitted dress, but I don't. I think I've given away all the ones that I have bought throughout the years because most of them are made from acrylic, and I've just found that I don't like the acrylic that's being used to make those clothes. It's annoying on my skin, like it makes me itch, and also it either pills a lot or it's always giving me static, and I am not a fan of that. So I actually found a lovely pattern on Hobby that, and a free pattern. I always love that. I love free patterns. Also, there's also really good. I think it's called Winterdrøm. A winter string in English. Vetrardraumur in Icelandic. And I do have yarn from Ice Yarns that has been sitting in that pile over there. Yeah, because I do not only have process in piles, I have yarn in piles, and I maybe should be feeling a little embarrassed about it, but I don't. So I have this yarn that I've had quite a few ideas for over the time. Most of the times I'm picturing like sweaters, but honestly I've got quite a few sweaters already planned with the yarn and the pattern along with. I am confusing myself, but yeah, I have quite a few of sweaters and jumpers and all that already planned, so that yarn is kind of like free real estate. So I'm thinking, instead of tackling any or finishing any of the existing projects that I'm already working on or already have planned, I'm actually thinking about starting on a dress. And this one doesn't have any like lovely pattern like the dress that I was gonna make this summer, because this one is literally just knitting basically. Yeah, so fingers crossed it's gonna work. I might actually, because I think that the coffee shop has on sale still some of the, it was either mohair or kid silk that she needs to get rid of, and I'm gonna see if I combine that yarn, because it's a wool something other blend, so it's a combination of three fibers. I'm gonna see if maybe it would be nice to combine that with the sale yarn, because the yarn that I already have here has already been designated for particular project. So yeah, that's the tentative plans. I have about a half hour on this recording of me basically just chatting my happy heart out. So, summary. Slow and steady wins the race. I bought a book. My computer fixed itself because it's alive. We did very well in the nano writing yesterday, and everyone in the town of Grindavík safely evacuated, is being closely monitored, and yeah, fingers crossed everything just goes well. But obviously we're just gonna have to see how things go, because nature is wild. So yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble on and on and on this weekend. If there's any progress, which there might be, with the eruption, like I've done before, I will do my best to update you on it. So I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's like I have no idea how volcanoes work. I just live here. But you know, if there's any updates in the coming week, I will try my best to put out another video and update you, because volcanoes are really interesting. Not gonna lie, they're terrifying and I love them, and as long as everyone is safe and out of danger, I love them even more. So at the very least, I will see you again next weekend, and hopefully I will have something more done with either knitting or crocheting or something like that, since that is kind of the purpose with this thing. But yeah, I didn't talk about the weather. Update on the weather. It was very wet in the past week. Windy as well. It was not nice until on Saturday. Yesterday it was actually sunny. It was freezing, but it was sunny. And today, or this morning, it snowed a little bit, but that's okay, because it's actually a little warmer today than it was yesterday, so that's the weather. But yeah, I will hopefully see you again next weekend. And yeah, until then, take care, and I really hope that life is as good to you as it can hopefully at best be. And yeah, take care. Bless.